Hello, audience. Welcome to another episode of Have You Seen It? I am Charles, and I am with the fantastic, the marvelous, the stupendous Denise. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. We up here basically as we were coming into the show, we were looking at the icon for our producer. He is now a member of Starfleet Command.
And
I don't know what his rank is. I'm assuming that he is definitely a high-ranking official, right? He's definitely like he's in the officer, and he is definitely on the deck.
and he has a special beer glass too with his name on it.
It's probably Admiral. So Denise,
Yes.
tell our audience what movie you're going to recommend this week for them.
Okay, folks. The movie I'm recommending this week is called Monster, and it stars Kevin Harrison Jr., Jeffrey Wright, Jennifer Hudson, and there is a small role in the movie with John David Washington. This movie is about a young 17-year-old by the name of Steve Harmon, and he's played by Kevin Harrison Jr. He's a 17-year-old honors student and aspiring filmmaker who gets caught up in a robbery where a murder happens. And as you watch the movie and you see his love of filmmaking, apparently filmmakers take every opportunity to film. So he's often seen out and about in his neighborhood, just kind of filming people, kind of interviewing people, making sure the lighting is right and so forth. So that lighting has a lot to do with this crime. So you fast forward and he has been arrested and charged, with murder. The prosecutor is hell-bent on proving that he committed this robbery or had something to do with it. And so he's got to prove his innocence. And in doing so, the movie shows you that you don't always have to be the perpetrator to be accused of a violent offense. You just have to know somebody who has nothing but time on their hands and all they want to do is, shoot up things, rob people, kill people. And it is this acquaintance that gets him caught up. And so you see a dramatic journey. It's very complex in his battle to prove his innocence. And one thing I liked about the movie is it's a teachable moment. So this type of thing happens to young Black men daily. It's probably happening somewhere right now. And if you watch this movie, watch it with your young, adult son or your teenage son who is always doing the right thing on the up and up, but knows somebody who's got a different agenda. And I think all of us know somebody like that. But when you're mature and you're grown, you kind of know how to separate yourself from folks like that. And this kid, I felt bad for him because of the situation. So my recommendation is Monster. In this Black Lives Matter life we're living, it's very, very important film to watch. So that's my recommendation.
So my recommendation this week is Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie, Finn Leto, Nicholas Hoult, Aidan Gilden, and a small role in there for Tyler Perry. Angelina Jolie plays Hannah, a smoke jumper. Now, for you guys that don't know what a smoke jumper is an individual that fight forest fires. Her life hadn't been the same since she blames herself for the death of 3 young boys because she could not prevent the spread of a forest fire. You know, her being a smoke jumper, and she in this particular instance, she was the lead smoke jumper. And she was out from the tower walking around, and she runs into Connor, played by Finn Little. And he's running, and they bump into each other, and he gets up and she sees that he's covered in blood. And she's trying to help him, but he's scared, right? And he's just trying to run and get away. But finally she gets him and she calms him down, and she gets him to start talking and say, hey, what's going on here? What's the deal? And he had told her he just had witnessed his father getting killed, right? And his father had the know-all to get him out of the car, right, before the people that were chasing him got to him and told him to run. Now she finds herself not only avoiding and trying to get Connor to safety from these gunmen that are chasing her, but also she's in the middle of a lightning storm, and her worst nightmare is coming back. She is in the middle of also a blazing wildfire. So this was a decent movie. So my recommendation for this week is Angelina Jolie in Those Who Wish Me Dead. Denise,
yeah,
who is your nailed it this week?
I nailed it this week is none other than Ethan Hawke.
So you go the other way, not to the Oscar winner, but the other way.
Yes. Man, oh man. In this movie, he epitomizes a man who's having a bad first day on the job. He wakes up all spry, and I'm a police officer and I'm going to protect and serve. Yippee! Well, once you meet your partner, Denzel Washington, that all goes down the drain. His day gets progressively worse with every hour. He gets beat up more than once, and he's in predicaments and situations that no person on their first day on anybody's job should be getting into. So I felt sorry for the man from the first time that he realized this ain't what I signed up for. So that is my nailed it. Ethan Hawke, poor thing.
So my nailed it this week is Dustin Hoffman has been brought up in The Graduate. All right. So this is a young Dustin Hoffman, right? And he plays, the clean cut postgraduate student. I think he's probably around 21. And he gets seduced by who everybody knows now, a cougar, right? Called her Miss Robinson. And in this movie, she was actually called Miss Robinson. That's where they get a name from now. After he gets comfortable with that situation, he meets her daughter, and he ends up falling in love with the daughter, obviously who's younger, right? And you got this crazy triangle going on, right? So Dustin Hoffman was brilliant in this. This is one of his first major movie roles, and he got nominated for Academy. The whole movie got nominated. So my nailed it is Dustin Hoffman in The Graduate. Hello, Miss Robinson.
All right. Thank you, Charles. All right. So, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, have you seen it, with Charles and Denise? And there we will be.
Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Have You Seen It with my girl, Denise, and yours truly. And we're out.
Bye-bye.